And then the Linda L. Taylor guy started calling out Light, saying that, Kira, you're bad and you're killing people and this is wrong and we're gonna find you. And then Light, of course, as arrogant as he is, was like, all right, cool. You think that I'm bad? You think that I'm making the world bad? You think that I'm the person who's causing turmoil in the world? And this is where Light's God complex really showed, because he was like, I am justice. I am God, basically. Like, he was going off on this whole rant.
I will be the world's new God.
And he wrote, first of all, this is what tripped me out. He wrote Linda L. Taylor's name out. Big as
like across the whole page. I'm like, why would you use an entire page for that? I understand that you angry, but those could be those are valuable. Hello. Welcome to In Love and Color, where we sip wine, talk tea,
while painting.
Today's topic is not an object.
Okay.
It's not something that is set in stone.
Is it abstract?
A little bit.
Okay. All right.
Today, we are painting sadness. Think of something that would represent sadness.
Okay. Something that would represent sadness.
Yep.
I feel like my painting is about to be like super literal. And I'm scared for my painting today.
We'll change it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Today's prompt is a pocket watch.
Okay.
Just a pocket watch.
Which we could do a pocket watch. I could do a pocket watch. Okay. So
I actually already have the colors for my pocket watch.
Well, cool.
For those newer to the channel, we are not professionals.
Not at all.
If you see stick figures, you get stick figures.
Our talking topic today is Death Note.
One of my favorite animes. One of yours is
my favorite anime. It's probably the shortest anime that I have watched, but it doesn't take away from how much I enjoyed it.
Not even close. We watched, I spent 300 years killing slimes, and now I'm the world's strongest. That was only 12 episodes.
Oh, really?
So was, Suppose a Kid. There's going to be a lot of anime that just have a long name here. Suppose a Kid from The Last Dungeon Boonies is also only 12 episodes. I've actually introduced you to a lot of 12 episode animes.
But one of the first anime that I watched was Death Note. And for those of you who may not have watched Death Note, just to kind of summarize what it's about this scholar, right? He's a senior. His name is Light. And he's pretty much bored with life. Like, he's one of those really, really smart kids who, like, aces all his classes and he's really popular, but he's just bored with life. Like, he wants something else to do. And he has this whole thing about justice. So what happens is that this notebook falls out of the sky, just randomly out of the sky, and it falls like in the yard of his school or whatever. When he first sees it, he's like, this is stupid, and he puts it back down. But then the next scene, you see that he's carrying the notebook. So the story, spoilers, obviously, it's basically like the unfolding of him like gaining power with this death note, because if you write someone's name in it, they die. And once he finds out that the notebook is like actually real and it actually kills people, for a second he kind of has remorse, but then all of it goes away. And for the rest of the story, you just see him like getting crazier and crazier. When I first started watching the anime, originally he was my favorite character. I really wanted him to succeed in outsmarting L. Like, I really wanted him to win. I was mad that he didn't win, and all of that. But kind of over the years, L has started to be my favorite character. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I enjoy the way that he uses deductive reasoning. in order to figure out exactly what's going on. And also, when it comes to L, honestly, he created his own demise. The tactics that he used to attempt to get out of trouble only put him in more trouble. Like, for example, that day where he rode the bus with the guy who was tracking him. That was the last day of the guy tracking him. He was talking to law enforcement, telling them that, hey, this is my final day of investigating Light, and I don't think he's suspicious. This will conclude my investigation. And if Light had just left him alone, he would not have been caught. There are so many times where Light
created his own demise. Yeah, but I guess that's also kind of one of the points of the anime, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we look at Light as a protagonist that he is not.
But
I personally don't think that Light was the protagonist in this anime.
But here's the thing, though. Protagonist does not necessarily mean the good guy. They're usually the main character.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
So
I don't think that Light was the hero of this story.
Okay, yeah.
All right. I feel like he started off with noble cause, but with a lot of other things, he ended up having an insane, almost very literal to the definition of the word, God complex.
Yes.
You know,
very much
that then ended up making him, honestly, the villain.
Mans was crazy.
Mans was crazy.
Like, we learned that he was crazy early on in the anime.
Yeah. When you think back on, like, the way that we looked at Death Note before,
yeah,
it was very much Light's the hero kind of thing. And why on earth would we stop them from killing criminals?
Yeah.
But then you give it a second walkthrough.
Right.
And, I mean, these are people.
That he's killing. You can make the argument that he's killing criminals, but as we go on in the anime, he begins to kill people
who just get like close to finding out who he is.
Yeah, he ends up killing people who are in his way.
And that's villain behavior.
Facts.
That's villain behavior.
Right.
I'm using some of this, by the way.
Cool.
So what this is iridescent medium for those people who are not in the art world. We're technically still not in the art world. We just like making things and talking shit. So this is iridescent medium, and what it does is it adds an iridescent sheen to your colors.
Yeah, I won't be using it. But he can.
Okay, so for those who want an explanation of what it looks like, it's like imagine the glitteriness or the metallicness of the gold color in any Crayola box.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it has this kind of it's a certain sheen to it.
Yeah. So my favorite character now, L. Like I said, I enjoy his deductive reasoning. I enjoy the fact that he is not afraid to be wrong or to be proven wrong. At the end of the day, he is only seeking truth. And even in his final moments, even after he died or whatever, he only really died because he was right. Like, he was heavily on to L. He was on to him. Like, he knew. And I feel that L knew that Light was, in fact, Kira long before, all the rest of the evidence he got. I feel that he was sure that Light was Kira once they met up face to face for the first time.
Hands down. Here was my evidence that he was sure of who it was. He deduced that it was the cop's son. Quick, right?
Very quick.
Like within the first 4 episodes, he had already deduced that it was somebody who was connected very closely with the police force. And by then, Light was already getting followed. He was followed that night.
Facts. Real quick though, one person that we cannot talk about Death Note without talking about this person. Ryuk.
an absolute icon, okay?
I enjoyed
And
Ryuk.
Pineapple Apple Pen.
I enjoyed Ryuk very much, to the point where, okay, so they came out with a live action version of Death Note, and though personally I did not enjoy it, I still kind of watched it just to see a live action version of Ryuk, and they did not disappoint.
They really didn't. So here's the thing, right? I've never been a fan of live actions of anime. I did not watch the live action for Death Note, mainly because I knew it was going to tank. Okay, I knew it. There was never a doubt in my mind. The last live action anime that I watched was for Ghost in the Shell, and it was only because I was deployed and that was what they were showing.
Right.
Now, I enjoyed on the previews how they made Ryuk's character look. I cannot speak so much for his character in the live action, mainly because I didn't watch the live action.
Yeah, no, Ryuk, I really did enjoy his character as well. He added a comedic element to Death Note. And it said that, well, not it said, but this is what I gathered from it. Especially during like the beginning of Death Note.
Yeah.
Light and Ryuk had a lot in common, where they were kind of bored with what was going on around them.
Well, I think that's kind of the beauty behind Ryuk finding Light, right? Especially in the anime, that was one of those things that was kind of perfect for the story, because they were so similar. I feel it made kind of for a better story.
Yeah, but you do have a point there where it contributed to the story a lot better because they had so much in common. Now, what I will say is that the anime and the manga ended differently, where in the anime, it was shown that the police force ended up shooting and ultimately killing Light. And then, they end up shooting him, and then Light kind of like ran out, tried to escape, ended up like dying on some stairs somewhere. But in the manga, the way that Light ended up dying was that Ryuk wrote Light's name in his notebook.
See, as you were saying this, right?
Yeah.
My initial thoughts were, just treat it like you would a comic book movie. Hollywood never sticks to the story, right?
Yeah.
But then I thought about the fact that in comics, the story changes a lot. Like sometimes will be rewritten or new universes will be introduced. When it comes to anime, most manga are one story. They're not being rewritten unless, you're Dragon Ball. But even then, they just slap a different letter or word on it and it's a whole new anime. But the source material's there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
How can you still mess up like that?
So are you saying that there are other shows or other animes where you don't enjoy how they remade it? Or are you saying that in Death Note, you didn't enjoy the difference?
There's a lot of times where in anime, I don't appreciate the difference between the manga and the anime itself. The
only difference, and I mean, I did not read the manga, so I'm sure there are more differences, but the only difference that I saw was the ending. Are you stating that you don't enjoy that the ending was different? Or
I didn't enjoy that the ending was different. I enjoyed the ending though.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I have a question though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know this might be a stupid question, but okay, so the long hand is the minute hand and the short hand is the hour hand, or do I have that completely wrong?
No, that's right.
Longhand is the one for the minutes and shorthand is the one for the hour.
Yes.
I'm looking it up. Guys. Okay, boom. Which hand on clock is the hour?
They are going to clown you. I want you to add this.
Or watch that points to hours shorter. Okay. The shorter one is the hour one. So you was right.
I know I'm right. I had to
Alright.
learn it in
You're
school.
fine.
Goddamn Gen Z, boy, I tell you what.
What's funny is that we're only like a year apart. And I guess 1 year separated us to where he's a millennial and I'm a Gen Z. But back to the subject, right? I really enjoyed the dynamic between Light and L. I enjoyed that cat and mouse where they were attempting to like outsmart each other.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a who's gonna catch who first kind of thing.
I'm gonna get you.
My favorite part has to be when L tested a theory to try to figure out more information about Kita. And he broadcasted live speaking to Kira and put some dude named Lind L. Taylor, right? And was like, yeah, we're broadcasting this all around the world. And then the Lind L. Taylor guy started calling out Light, saying that, Kira, you're bad and you're killing people and this is wrong and we're gonna find you. And then Light, of course, as arrogant as he is, was like, all right, cool. You think that I'm bad? You think that I'm making the world bad? You think that I'm the person who's causing turmoil in the world? And this is where Light's God complex really showed, because he was like, I am justice. I am God, basically. Like, he was going off on this whole rant.
I will be the world's new god.
And he wrote, first of all, this is what tripped me out. He wrote Lind L. Taylor's name out. Big
Like across the whole page. I'm like, why would you use an entire page for that? I understand that you angry, but those could be those are valuable.
So Lind L. Taylor dies. The TV screen, it switches, and it just has the letter L on it. And L was like, oh my gosh, I this was just a theory, but I didn't think it was gonna work so well. Kita, you've outdone yourself. One, we didn't broadcast this all over the world. We in fact only broadcasted it in Japan. I was gonna try other
Kyoto region.
Say it again.
I'm going to your county, dog.
And yeah, so we only broadcasted it in Japan. And we were gonna try other countries, but we don't have to do that now because I see that you're right here in Japan. He was like, I'm gonna give you another clue. What else did he say? Because it was something else he said.
It was because the first few people that died were within the region.
Yeah. Basically, L was telling Kira that, like, I kind of know that you're in Japan and I'm gonna find out more about you. Like, he was basically like, you caught.
Hey, get ready, fam. Get ready. I'm about on my way.
It was hilarious.
At that point, he had been doing it for like a month, I think, right?
Yeah. What tripped me out though was the fact that Light went through so much to hide his notebook. Like, he built an entire contraption after his little sister like came in unexpectedly needing help with like her math homework or something. He built this whole contraption to make sure that he would not be caught with this notebook, and ended up getting caught anyway.
Why'd you leave it like that?
He lost his memory, got it back, still ended up losing. My very first watch of Death Note, what tripped me out was finding out that Light's dad was a police officer. And Light's dad was so oblivious to the fact that his son was Kita.
Right.
He was so oblivious.
No way. Not my son?
He can't be the son of a police officer.
A police officer. Can't believe, who does he think we hire?
Moving on from Light though. His girlfriend, or should I say girlfriends? Because he had two girlfriends at one time. He had a girlfriend for school, and he had a girlfriend for Kira, in a sense.
Oh yeah, his whole personality had a personality. Bro, his second personality had its own life. Okay?
He was a scholar by day, serial killer by night.
And he had a life for both of them. I'm sitting over here like, dang, I'm just trying to find a life for me.
I can kind of see your canvas through the back. So, and I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do the chain on the pocket watch, and now I know how I'm gonna do it. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I still don't know how I'm gonna do this chain. I'm gonna do a gold so it kind of like match or whatever. Boom. Yeah. But yeah, no, he really did manipulate that girl. And what's funny is that she didn't mind being manipulated.
She was very well aware. So I don't. Is it manipulation? I don't think that's what you. I think it was more exploitation than manipulation.
Okay.
Because she was aware of what was going on, and he exploited her willingness. So I don't think it was manipulation per se, because that would require lying.
Okay. It was more exploitation.
It was exploitation.
I don't know what color maybe. Ooh. We might have to stop drinking on these episodes. I almost put my paintbrush in my drink.
Girl, I almost did that twice.
I think that means I should take a sip of it, right?
Yup. Remind yourself.
Okay, so other characters, right? I was actually what's funny is that I was reminded of this character like maybe a couple days ago. Mikami. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Delete. He'd go through the book. Delete. Like he was having too much fun. Almost more fun than Light was having killing people. So his girlfriend or whatever, right? The second girlfriend, I don't know. She didn't get much screen time. But when she did get screen time, she expressed that she felt a bit ignored or whatever. And also his Kira's girlfriend, like Light's second girlfriend, was jealous of the school girlfriend. Light dead ass had a work wife. And
bro, Light was the only person ever to pull off a work wife.
Right.
Y'all think y'all pulling out work wives out here? Y'all ain't Light. Light made that shit light work.
Yeah. Back to L though. One thing that I related to him with is he would eat snacks while trying to figure out stuff. Now, on the side of eating snacks to figure out stuff is not where I relate, but just like loving snacks, period. Like almost every time you saw him, he was eating sweets. And that was funny to me. But on the final note of Death Note, ultimately L won. Ultimately, L was the smarter person. And honestly, it was his little brothers that kind of brought it to a head and finally were able to catch Light. I mean, Light, of course, told on himself with his actions in a way. He built the contraption in order to hide the notebook, right? That failed. Light did like a switcheroo with the notebook because he did a switcheroo with his girlfriend who also had a Shinigami and kind of like switched the notebook so that he would lose his memory and she would lose her memory. And whenever he was interrogated, nobody would find out anything. That didn't work. He almost gave up half of his life to get the Shinigami eyes until he met his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He got a watch to hide a piece of paper in it so that he could be able to write names and still kill people. And that's the moment where L kind of found out about the notebook and exactly how the killings were happening and how they worked. Like he went through so much to try to evade L, and literally everything that he did only brought him closer to getting caught. But to wrap it up, if you haven't watched Death Note, go
Definitely
watch Death Note.
It.
Share it with your friends. And if you have watched Death Note, what else could we include? Like, what did we miss? I want to know in the comments. Anything you want to add?
Yes. So if you like our conversations and like our paintings and mind just having a good time with us, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give us suggestions. Tell us what you guys want to hear us talk about,
or what you want us to paint.
Yeah, I'm always up to getting prompts from the comments. But speaking on this prompt,
all right,
I am ready.
Okay. Right.
Oh, yours looks a lot more defined than mine. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah. You
All right.
you show yours.
So this is a stopwatch, but I also included the last thing, which was sadness, which is why I went a lot with the blue screen, and it's supposed to be like a broken stopwatch.
I enjoyed. Wow, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Let it pick up. Yeah, that's dope. Mine is bigger, but yours is very much like.
Wait, but you've been working on your shaping here.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, I was working on my shade. Yeah,
That concludes our episode. I'm Jamie.
Fine.
And we are in loving company.